From the football that I've watched, I really feel women are tougher. I've been kicked around on every place you can imagine. I wasn't acting and saying foul.
Like Neymar, we had the World Championship Freestyle, only men the first year. Third year, we had like 4 girls. Then the year after, I was scared to play against the girl. Please, don't mix it up. Some sports, it's good to divide because the abilities are different. Welcome to Podball, the highest podcast in the world. Today we have 2 special guests, ex-football player and ex-basketball player, but it's 2 female. We're gonna see the perspective, how they handle every challenge they got in their life. What time is it? It's ball time. Ra. Welcome to Podball, the highest podcast in the world. Today I'm super excited because I'm joined by 2 incredible athletes, women. We have Lama and Nathalie. How are you?
Great, how are you?
So I will let you to introduce yourself first.
Awesome.
Go
I'll
ahead.
start.
Yeah.
Lama Masri, 34, retired football athlete. I've maybe spent professionally more than 7 years playing professional between Lebanon, Germany, and England.
Wow.
Well, first I want to tell you, I'm so happy that we're first 2 women on your show. It was about time for you to get women. So
Of course.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm Nathalie. We've met before, but I'm a former professional basketball player. I was the youngest to join the national team at the age of 13. And this is what used to get me at a very young age on television. So growing up, I then became the first woman to ever present sports news in Lebanon. And this started taking me to different places from the court to TV. And then I moved to Dubai, becoming the first woman to ever present the WWE, first woman to win in Sports Media Personality of the Year. So I'm very happy to have been someone who helped breaking a lot of barriers, especially in the sports world in this region. So that's basically that summarizes who I am today, I guess. But It
Wow.
all started on court. This is why wherever I go in life, I just go back and say, just started on court, and I owe it all to the game, to basketball, and to the game that shaped me into the person I am today.
It's always starting on court, right? So let's be back to your previous life. You know, I'm also retired in a way, so we are all know. So how that started for you to be like an athlete as a girl, as a woman? It was maybe difficult. How your parents handled it? Like, how was your relationship with boys? Because I remember when I was young, I was playing in a small club, and one girl was playing with us, and she was really good. Yeah, so she was the only one, and so when we passed her the ball, sometimes we dub, but all the time she was not making people. How was for you the relationship when you was young with the sports?
I think when it comes at least to football, I have my dad to thank. He is, till now, mashallah, really, he's 73 years old and works out maybe 7 hours a day. No joke. There's not a single
Works out?
Like, there's not a single sport he doesn't do.
Okay.
Like, really. And so growing up, he looked at me and said, all right, I'm going to put all of that into you. So put a ball, a basketball, a volleyball, wakeboarding, water skiing, whatever. Just we do it. So it was like a sport that you love, that you want to kind of move about on any different field. And football specifically, I loved it. I love the team spirit. I love the dedication. I loved that it was groundbreaking. I mean, it was in Saudi Arabia. Women did not play football. So I joined a local team there, and I had my hair cut short, and we used to play against Saudi teams.
So you shave your hair
like properly, really
to play
short.
football?
To play football.
Wow.
And
Someone asked you to do that, or?
No, I mean, because we used to play against Saudi teams, so they shouldn't know that I'm a woman. So what I would do is that, so I'd play attack, and the second they passed the ball, I would take the ball, and then right before scoring, I look at the goalie and pass the ball in a girly voice.
Yeah, okay.
And then the goalie freezes because he was Saudi. And back then it was like, what do you mean there's a woman playing with us? And we were young, we were 7 years old.
So you just explained to me, because I'm Frenchman, so my English is not perfect. So if I understand right, you cut your hair to kind of hide you were a girl in a boys team, and you use that as a tool to like distract them, right?
this not the my team, because the coach knew, all my teammates
Yeah.
knew, but like the opposing team
They were
had
surprised.
no idea.
And what about when you touch the ball after and they realize you were a girl, like, and you master the ball like them? How was their reaction?
One, they froze. Then you're like, first, like, oh my god, I'm playing against a woman, and then two is like, oh, okay, she can play. So they didn't have to be easy anymore, because I still do that now with friends. We play some games, and they're like, oh, a girl's on the team, you know, and I'm like, all right, keep thinking that, and I end up tackling them, and they're like, what the hell?
Do you like to mix with boys, like when you play sports like basketball or football, or you prefer to separate?
Well, to me, I started playing my entire life with boys, and this is how I learned to play basketball, because I come from a family where my grandfather was a basketball player and a part of the national team. Then it was my father, and then it was me. But I grew up in a club where there was no team for girls. So I grew up playing with the boys, and at some point there had to do some restructuring for the club. So I bought myself like a panier, like a basketball,
Wow.
and I put it in the parking spot next to my house. And all the boys of the club used to come, but I was the boss there. Like, I was choosing who plays and who doesn't.
Oh la la.
So I was just
You
watching.
rules the place.
Yes, but they're all boys, and they just wanted to please me. And like, I was so young that whatever they used to do, I used to go back home and train. Just watch how they do the between the legs, behind the back, and stuff like that. And this is how I became really good so young, because I joined the national team at the age of 13. So yeah, I learned from the boys, and then at some point they did the first women's team. At first I'm like, I don't want to play with the girls, but I didn't have a choice to go like to the next level. So I still today I prefer playing with the boys than with the girls.
How is the relationship with the girl? Because sometimes I heard like in the team it's super tough, super hard. Like you said, like you prefer play with the boys. So how is like being inside a girls team, for example?
I don't think it's any different than a guy's team, because I think whatever you're talking about, competition's there. Jealousy is a big part of the sport. It is what pushes you to become better. It exists both with men and women, so I don't see there's a big difference with that. The only difference is the hormones that are a bit on a different level with the women, and there's a different psychology, which the coach has to know how to deal with women different than men. But whatever you find in a men's team, it exists in the same way with the women's team.
I really think they're, from the football that I've watched, from the games that we're currently watching in the World Cup, I really feel women are tougher, honestly. I mean, I've been kicked around on every place you can imagine, from my face, and I've had, the cleats on my face, and I rolled over and I got up. I wasn't acting and saying foul.
Like
and
Neymar?
like a lot of players that, honestly, in women's football, we don't see that, really. We see they roll and they get up.
Of
So
course we
it's-
don't see that. We see you throw the hair and everything.
Oh my
Like
God.
sometimes I get shocked by some clip, but it's cool.
Yeah.
We have is that in freestyle. Basically, we had the World Championship freestyle, only men the first year, second year only men.
Yeah.
The third year we had like 4 girls. Then the year after I was scared to play against the girl. I was like, please don't mix it up. No, but actually I think this is my opinion. In some sports, it's good to divide because the abilities are different. But in some sport, actually, I think girls can do better than men. What do you think? Like, is it like when someone creates a sport? Do you think the sport are creating only like in a way it's attractive, or just for men, or do we think about like maybe change the rules for girl? What do you think about the evolution of sports nowadays for girl in general?
I think from when sports started in general, right? It's a recreational activity. And then you'd have, your Spartan games back, in ancient Italy and Greece, and where you would have, let's say, athletes entertain the crowd, right? And so sports was driven as a political reason, to drive the masses to come and attend and distract. And then with our lifestyle, it's moved on to us being active and wanting to take care better of our health, our mental health, that, hunger for dopamine, right? When you actually want to think about a sport, what you guys did with Urbanball, right? This one-on-one, I'd see this as easily a man versus a woman, no problem, right? I see them playing against each other. It's the skill sets of your footwork, really, and how much you can put a joker face, right? And so I don't really think so much about certain sports are only for women versus men. We face that a lot, I'm sure. I don't know so much in basketball with you guys.
No, I don't think he means the fact that there are some sports that are just. You mean about separating men from women in competition, which I sometimes agree to because the physical ability of men differs. But sometimes when you don't need that, it's okay to mix both things. But in general, sports over the years, watch the track and field, like records keep on keeping broken, and then you ask yourself, until when, until when, until when? And then I believe sports and as a science, as a technology, is improving so much that both in man and woman, everything is just going from a level to another, to another, to another, and then you just keep on asking, until when? Like, till when can we just keep on breaking records and everything?
Yeah, actually, I was meaning also the fact, like, if you talk about basketball, the goal is to score more basket than the other team and to repeat effort, like back and forth. So maybe in that way, men have more
No,
ability.
but
But
then
imagine, like, you have a competition like 3 points, for
yeah.
example. And if imagine basketball was that only shooting, maybe a woman could meet the man.
But then again, if you're watching lately, like with the NBA, the 3 points line has been a bit too close for some of players. Stephen Curry took the game.
Yeah, did you see the last clip?
Yes, I did. Like,
This is crazy.
like the
Stephen
3 point
Curry
line
took
has become way too far for everyone, and this is when maybe now they might even consider changing that line or consider something else because everyone's just shooting it from a different range. So I'm telling you, like, it's just improving and improving. So yeah.
We have a court behind us. So it's the Urbanball Sky pitch. It's the best street football pitch in the world. We are building a new sport. It's a one-on-one format. The goal for me is to create the UFC of football. That's the goal. And of course, it's not already draw because we were waiting for you, Nathalie, to tell us which distance we should aim. We have a 2-point line.
For shooting.
Yes, for shooting, but with the foot, for sure.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, we are building a new rules here and a new way to play football. If you have to put like two athletes one-on-one in that court playing football to
Football
do a cool
players?
game, huh?
Football players?
Yes, football players, whoever, to create a cool game. Who do you put behind us?
I'd get Mia Hamm.
Who?
I'd get Mia Hamm.
From.
U.S. national
Okay.
team.
Yes.
She's retired, but I mean, she's my legend, right? I mean, who would be your go-to?
No, I'm just thinking further than that. I'll just put the two greatest. Like I put Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan, you know?
Yeah.
Just like
Perfect.
play
I'll take that.
one-on-one.
Who
Yeah.
will win? You think?
I'm an MJ fan all the way. so-
Okay, but I think MJ will like score some goals and Mohamed Ali get pissed and punch him in the face, and that's it. So we we creating a new sport, and of course, when you create a new sport, it's always difficult. You have faced so many things. What when you back to your childhood when you start? How you say your father actually support you a lot and put you everywhere in the sport. How was you for your parent? Did they support you to play basketball or?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I told you I come from a family where basketball is a religion. You know, it's all over in the house. So, and I had a very supportive mom who used to drop me and take me to practice every single day. But then I remember I had to, because we play professional, but we still go to school. Like, it's not something that we do for a living. We just do it for fun. And I had another life where I was so young and I still had to go to school. And I remember she's like, listen, if this affects your grades, we're stopping basketball. And from that day on, I just graduated first from school, first from high school, first and everything I've done in
So
my
they
life.
have no choice.
Just because I wanted to like pursue the game and like not give them any reason to tell me we're stopping this. But I watched a video today for Serena Williams. She said, "I don't come from the richest family, but I had a family that was rich in support, rich in spirit, rich in belief, and this is the most important. Really, what she said means a lot. This is what you need to become a great athlete."
Wow, super inspiring. I heard a story. I read a bit online. So you were playing for Lebanon, and you were qualified for the World Cup,
Yes.
and you couldn't attend. But I couldn't find it, like the real reason, like what's happened.
So, unfortunately, I think with Lebanon, it's a bit of a political issue where there's a lot of corruption there, and I think corruption in sports goes a long way with a lot of national team federations around the world, and they didn't. They just, obviously we get money from FIFA yearly, right, for the women specifically, for us to go to competitions and train and enhance. That year, nothing was spent on the national team, and we had qualified, and the federation said we don't have money, and we went to them. We are aware that there is money, so literally in 24 hours, I got some funding from Nike, and secured it. But the only condition was that I actually take the money and book the tickets, book the hotels, and do everything through Lama. And the federation disagreed, said if the money's going to come in, it has to go through us. And so Nike didn't trust that for obvious reasons. You could see that we're still without a president in Lebanon for corruption reasons. And yeah, so the national team boycotted ever since. That's been more than 10 years.
It was 10 years ago?
It was 10 years ago. There hasn't been a senior female national team for the Lebanese league. All of them are under 19. It's the young team. But the older ones have different football players. They're now in Canada, they're now in the US, they're now in England, they're playing professionally other parts of the world, but we've given up. It's sad.
Yeah.
I think in basketball there's a lot more I don't know. I think there's a lot more weight for women, and I think you have really good clubs in Lebanon. You have proper clubs behind an administration that would push the federation to spend on them. But for the women's team, it was us that had to build the clubs. You know, I had to lobby at a local football team, you know, to get funding. We really had to prove ourselves as women.
Is it
there.
the sports things or something else? Just because it's football or it's less structured?
We got a lot of comments of, you know, football's not for women, you know. We would get that a lot.
You think, football is less for women than basketball? Like how?
No, I think the problem in Lebanon is the exposure. Basketball has much more exposure than football does. Basketball goes on TV, whether for men or women. Sponsors are more interested in basketball. I'm sure they've accomplished a lot, but people don't know about it. With the women's basketball team, they know when we win the Arab Championship, when we made it to the Division A in Asia, the exposure we have and the light, we have much more than football, which is as an athlete and as someone who knows how they're feeling, it's sad. But this applies to so many other things in different countries. You have always a sports that's a bit more popular than any other sports, but there's no reason that justifies when a team qualifies somewhere for the budget not to be secured for them to go play. So, I mean, I feel you, and this is very sad.
Yeah, it's super crazy. So that's why we create a new sport, and maybe we can have some.
We make our own national
yes,
teams,
I'm
right?
sure someone from Lebanon can represent super well at the
Yeah.
World Cup. And also I think that the world we are into now, there is many change. We have different type of opportunities. Now we have social media as well, so not everything is stay on the ground, and we can speak a little bit better. There is many people who say okay, there is the bad effect of social media. There is for sure a bad effect. There is for sure a dependent. There is for sure people staying on the time on their phone. But there is also for sure a way to use that tool and to inspire people, and also to say some story. I know, unfortunately, in Lebanon, you had this bad moment where there is this explosion.
Yeah.
And as a French guy, I saw so many stories on social media, and I could see different effects that what the news was only showing on TV, and that was something cool. But for you, so you are an athlete now. You were an athlete, and you turn a bit the page. Okay, how was the transition for you?
Well, for me, I told you, it all started by being on court, and I used to go on TV shows as a guest because of my basketball career. And then there was this channel in Lebanon who came and they're like, we want you to be the first woman to present sports. And back then, my Arabic was so bad. And I'm
So you didn't speak Arabic?
I spoke, but not the TV Arabic. So I used to speak French with my family and friends. I spoke English and then it was not my forte, of speaking Arabic. And I was shy and everything. And I'm like, no. But then they're like, you're going to be the first woman to do so. And that's the only reason why I said yes. And then, to be very honest, getting on TV is addictive. You go there, there's a certain personality that gets, you change within a second as soon as the camera is on. And it just started opening a lot of opportunities. From the second I got on TV as the first woman to present sports in Lebanon, I started getting offers from everywhere. And then I just felt like it's in my hands to use this platform and start making a change, which is what I wanted. And it started from being something locally, and then I went to the Arab world, and then I started doing stuff internationally until I got to work with the biggest sports organizations, whether with the NBA or the FIFA or the AFC or WWE. And then I saw that barriers have been broken, and I'm part of that, and I've witnessed change. So I think that was the best decision. And you know how when you don't know how to do something, you just say yes and then learn it? This is exactly what happened when I started going on TV, because it was not something I learned.
Is Nathalie changed from the athlete to the TV presenter?
I always say that no, I'm an athlete in the way I present because everything I learned on court, I took it with me and I applied it in my professional life. And even like it's something I always repeat, like even if you don't become a champion with the sports you do, but there is so much whatever game you choose to do, whether it's basketball, football, that the commitment, the discipline, the sacrifice, this you can take with you and you can apply it to anything else in life, in your professional life, and it will take you somewhere. It will make you something. So I think the athlete in me made it as a presenter. So no, I don't think I'm a different person.
Okay, that's a good advice to actually like keep what make you in a different sport or activity and apply the same principle in your next career. How was for you, Emma?
I think for me it was a bit different because I mean obviously I love the sport. I really do. It's I think we all share that, right? We share this love for that sport that we play. But for at least women football, from the time I started, there wasn't really much financial gains. You're paying from your own pocket to actually play, and I always had to have a career, right? I went to uni, I did my masters, I built my companies, I was hungry for that, right? I love the sport, but it was never it couldn't I came to to reality. I knew the reality that I'm never going to make money from this, right? And even if I wanted, is it enough, right? Is it enough to buy a home at one day, right? Enough to take care of a family, or to travel and
When
take
did you start to
vacations?
think like that? It was a certain age after certain issues, or it was straight away when you were playing?
I think it was I think maybe families also they do not even let you think that you can make money out of this.
Okay.
So it was so I had an athletic scholarship at age I started uni at age 16, right? So I basically was scouted from in Bahrain. I was in Bahrain. I got scouted to Queen's University in Canada. And I was only 16. And my mom was like, "Listen, like you're 16, I'm not sending you to Canada." So we rejected the scholarship. I went to Lebanon, to my home country, because I didn't really know it, and I ended up
Why your
getting a
mom
degree.
didn't set you? It was like trust, more like cultural to protect you, or how?
I think it was one getting close to my culture and understanding where I'm from, because I didn't have that connection. Because, I mean, I knew Lebanon, but I didn't know the people enough, right? And two was, I was only 16, so going to uni at 16, she was definitely scared. I'd be scared for my son if he was 16 and going to uni. So, but I applaud her, honestly, because I got to see women football. I got to help create it. I was the first to set up a football club there with Ansar, a local club, and then going with Atletico FC and doing so. I was part of the hunger that there wasn't anything there, and we were so hungry that we started creating clubs, creating the infrastructure, helping the national team. So I definitely saw achievements there from a football career, but I I went. I had the whole I want to change the world kind of aspect.
Yes.
I wanted to do bigger things.
I'm
Ah,
smiling because you just mentioned Atletico FC, and
Yeah.
I'm one of the partners of Atletico, and I
No
had
way.
absolutely no idea.
No way.
Yes.
With Rene Matta.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes.
now you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like the initial reason why I got part of this club in Lebanon was to create a basketball club, and then which we did. But they invested so much in women's sport, and especially with the women's team. So
True.
it makes me happy to hear this.
Yes. Yes.
How are you involved now in your sports at the moment?
Well, yes, I told you, like I'm part of this club, and my mission is to play it forward. Like because I always say I am who I am thanks to this game, and it's time to just do something in return. So yeah, I do have plans to do stuff here, not just in Dubai or Lebanon, but in the region to push women, push girls into sports, whether by doing things or just sharing your story. Because there are a lot of places in this world where a woman thinks she still cannot, but it's time for every person to think that if he can, she can. So. So yeah, I'm in a position where I was blessed with a lot of opportunities, and now it's just time to share the story and just pay it forward.
Talking about giving back, I have something for you.
Yeah.
Yes, I have something for you. Actually, we with the Urbanball ecosystem, we build a video game, and the goal for us is to spot talent, getting those talent as an NFT, putting it on the video game. And we have three modes in this video game. We have the one-on-one, which is what you see here. People has to play one-on-one and score goals. We have the freestyle, which is doing tricks, but we just released the first mode, which is the trick shot mode. And every guest in this Podball show has to play this trick shot mode. If you go on the top of the leaderboard, you get $10,000 for the charity of your choice. So maybe you can fund the next team to go to the World Cup, or you can like maybe do something for your sports. So we are loading the game right now. We have the expert in the game who will bring the phone here, and you're gonna have one try each. So I tell you how is it. You will have the ball in front of you in the phone, and with your finger you just have to shoot the target, not the goal, the target.
And
You have 1 minute each.
And by the way, you can move. Sorry,
She
She
tried.
knows the game. That's
Ah.
already she's at an advantage.
You play same
Not fair.
team. You play same team.
Just once I tried it, I promise.
That's once. She's been practicing since
We will
yesterday.
try. We will give you one try. We will give you one try.
Give
Don't
her more
worry
time.
about
Give
that.
her more time.
Yes.
But yeah, no.
So we're waiting. The
Lovely.
game is charging right now. So we're doing that because we want to link the digital world and the real world. That's always something I love to do. Back then, when I start to do like performance, I always has like a video putting online, trying to see the feedback of people, what they want to see, and see their comment. Oh, can you teach me this trick? Okay, so I'm gonna do a tutorial about that. Oh, that was a great tutorial I did against my friend. It worked. I ask you, okay, what you want to learn next? Then they ask me. So now with this game is like how we can touch more people to play, you know, because once they get addicted with the phone, maybe they can see some tools like, oh, actually, he play in Brazil in the favelas. I will search online, where is this court? And they will see the tournament and they see people play in that court. Maybe we'll give a reason to play. So the goal is to build an ecosystem where people who are playing in real life, they can have their character in the video game, but also people who play only game have a motivation to play in real life, and we can have an exchange. Do we have the game?
So I have a question. So let's say I find someone who's like a superstar, right, in street football.
Yeah.
How
There
do
is
you-
no superstar in street football.
I'm just saying. I mean,
We are-
we see an underdog, right? We're in the
Okay.
street, and like wherever you are in the world. How can we empower this person to, let's say, get to and benefit from the Urbanball community? Is there something that he needs to tag? Is it?
Yeah, basically, we are building the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Now what we do, we're building tournament all around the world. For those type of people attend the tournament, and basically they have to play against each other, and most of the time the best one get his NFT and is part of the video game. That's the first step.
Got you.
Later on, the goal is to build like an app or ecosystem where people can play that format because it's one-on-one. It's one goalkeeper, so you don't need that much. You see, it's like a basketball court.
Yeah.
You know, exactly the same. Because I was inspired a lot by basketball. To be honest, I watched N1 back then.
I see a lot of your moves. Like
Yes.
they're like
Yeah.
spinning the ball.
Yeah,
and
of course. I know from the best things, you know. So I was trying to see what other sport can bring to me, and I was trying to redistribute. So one-on-one, you don't need too much space. You can play with only 3 people, 1 goalkeeper, two players. And actually the goal for me is for those guys to film, because now everybody has a smartphone.
Exactly.
I went to everywhere in the world, and maybe they don't have shoes, but they have a smartphone. It's crazy. So let's use this technology. They film themselves, you know, they post online. Now it's on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, but later on can be on our own platform. And, you know, we can spot them and give them some boost to play more, maybe through a competition, maybe through tokens, maybe through NFTs. So that's the way we're trying to build a new ecosystem, basically, to create this UFC of football.
Love it.
You bring the game.
You guys ready?
Finally, we have who want to start first?
I don't know. She looks like the professional.
Okay, so Lama, you are the professional now. Okay,
Yes,
show
sir.
me where is it now.
Oh.
Voila.
Okay, so play now.
You guys ready? All right.
Just click play now.
Trick shot.
And trick shot, yes.
Ooh.
Don't break the phone,
This
please.
is a big phone.
Yes.
All right. I got this.
Done.
Dubai ice cream
Yeah,
or
yeah, in the
Travas
middle.
Bastos? All right.
Tavares
middle.
Bastos, this is the court in Brazil.
All right. Oh, God.
And okay, you started. So in the same time, Nathalie, you will ask her some question just to make her crazy.
Just to like.
Yes, yes.
Do you have a kid?
Yes, I do.
Where is he now?
He's in.
He's asking for you.
He's in school.
Okay, I have a question. Who won the last championship? Last Champions League, sorry.
For which woman? Football. women,
For women?
this.
For women.
I don't watch.
Olympique Lyonnais.
I don't have
come
time to
on.
watch.
Well, no.
Hein?
Olympique Lyonnais, no?
Oui, je pense. Je sais même
See,
pas.
they
j'ai
just
posé-
won the best club of the
I
year
can't even
for
get one.
women because they won the league and the Champions League with the.
Okay, so who won
How
for the
come
men?
I know this?
You know better than her. Oh, Lama,
Guys,
what's happened?
I'm focused.
Who is
Can't
the
even
Ballon
get
d'Or?
one?
Who is the Ballon d'Or
I can't even
for
get
women
one.
this year?
For women this year,
You tell us.
Exactly.
she knows more than
She
me.
knows. She
Let's
worked for
play
you.
a
She helped
trivia
you.
game. Let's play a trivia game. This is I won't do
Guys,
good with this one.
give me math problems. Give me
No,
this.
no, this is too complicated for me.
I can't do this.
Oh, you finish?
Rien.
Okay, show me the score.
No, I didn't do good. I wasn't aiming.
So you had the train. You train one time, but it's not that bad.
It's bad.
You are not the last in the leaderboard,
Really?
not
I'm
the
not the
first.
last? Oh my
One
God.
1,030.
You need to
One-
teach me what are we
1,030.
doing?
I'm like trying, but every time I like try to go, it's like going much more.
So basically, you can practice one time.
Okay.
So you play again, you just practice. How was it, Lama? Just practice, Nathalie. Don't worry.
I
You
was
just have to
stressed.
shoot the target. So you see this target yellow and green? You have to shoot them. You can go left and right if you need, but the best is like just to go straight away.
Anyone get a zero?
No, 400 is the worst.
So I'll tell you why I don't follow football.
Yeah.
So my issue with
Now she's just
Sorry,
trying
I'm
now.
just trying now. I'm
Now
practicing.
she's out of the game. She's just focusing.
yeah, so I think for me it's really one, honestly, there's really no time. I'm really heavily involved at work. But two, the concept of supporting a team if I'm not playing doesn't make sense because I watch football and I love every play. A good play is a good play. A good goal is a good goal, right? I have that sportsmanship that applauds an athlete, right? But the fact that I have to like support a team without actually knowing what they're going through, understanding what play, what happened to them on the
I
day.
got 3,500.
Already?
Girl.
Like something
Oh,
like that.
I think she will beat everybody. So now you have to do it properly because I didn't
What's the
ask you.
score? What's the top score?
I think the top score is like 20 points more than you actually.
Wow.
Come on!
Yeah, you just have to do
Okay,
a little
let's
bit
say
more.
again.
Okay. So wait. We have to.
Now grill her. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We're
we
gonna
have to
grill you.
her.
You know when
exactly.
you shoot a free throw shot, you have an entire stadium booing, so I don't care.
You don't feel the
Can do
pressure.
your
Play
thing.
now.
I might not answer you, just
Yeah. Okay. So, but we have to put some basketball question. I think.
So
Who won the NBA last year?
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Are you
Yeah, I'm
sure
not
about
really
that?
sure. How much points Steph Curry scored last year?
In total, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you, he broke the records for the.
Okay. Do you know a bit about football?
Yes.
Yes. Who won the Ballon d'Or last year? Or this year actually?
Karim Benzema.
Oh, she knows everything. It's gonna be hard. Lama won.
She is a sports presenter.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, I know,
presenter.
I know. I'm trying to trick her, but there's no
Just
way.
letting you know, I'm at 5,000.
No way.
I swear.
Okay, I think she
Oh,
will go
wow,
on the
all
top
right.
of the leaderboard. This is crazy.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I can see she but maybe it's for basketball people, right? It's more with the hand. Maybe we can do with the foot. Maybe we are better,
Us, I
right?
think we're better.
Yes.
6,000.
Okay, so she's crashing the game at the moment.
I need to look at her screen time on her phone.
Yeah.
6,720.
Bravo.
Okay.
Am I leading?
Yeah, you definitely led.
Yeah.
I think definitely.
Guys,
we have a winner.
Nathalie, Mamo, he's on the top of
Show
the
me, show me.
leaderboard. 6,720.
Wow.
We can applaud.
Yeah.
Guys, we can applaud behind the camera.
Yes,
Come on.
yes. It's in
Oh
the
la la.
blood, competing.
If you have to give any tips to anyone who watch the video, how to be better,
Be
because
gentle.
Be gentle.
Just be
It's
gentle.
all about
Yeah.
like
So, yeah.
the
skills.
move, the
It
touch.
comes from dribbling,
Yes,
like just
yes.
control it, yeah.
Okay, I can see. Like actually, she beat everybody. Like I need to try a bit more because I'm competing as well. But also everybody.
How
who-
many left is there? Like,
Huh?
how many are coming after me?
I think we still have 10 guests.
Ah,
But at the moment, average, they do like 2,000, 3,000,
mhm.
4,000, only two of them. And now we are 6,000, like really way above.
You're on
that.
another level.
Yeah, on another level for sure.
Want to do a competition? I'll play against the finalists.
Okay. So you already like staged the final,
Yeah.
right? And so basically, everybody who watched the video, they can download the game in the description. It's on the EX Sports app, and they can also win some prizes. So they compete against us as well. So that's what is cool. And this is only the first mode. This is the trick shot. As I told you, there is the freestyle, which is like more doing tricks with the ball, with the feet, with the hand. And we have the one-on-one. So it's like you collect NFTs, and you're gonna put your NFT or the player you have, for example, put another NFTs, and you're gonna mix that with technique, and player will see who wins, and it's a play to earn game. So it's super interesting, and we're doing that to create an entire ecosystem to support the talents, because we went to Africa, we went to Brazil, and I can see, you know, those people, they play 24 hours for football or also basketball if you go to the US, for example, but sometimes they don't have like any support, and we have to create something. So that was the whole initiative.
No, really, thank you. Thank you for that. Honestly, what you guys are giving back also to the community when, let's say, somebody is a winner, you know, you end up donating anyways to a charity. This in itself is an industry, and you know, you're helping back and giving back, so you're playing it forward.
And they're investing in grassroots, which is where everything comes out.
Exactly.
So this is amazing as well.
And did you sign the court?
Not yet.
Not
No.
yet, because what we're gonna do, you're gonna sign the court, because this court will be given also. Maybe we're gonna give it in Brazil, in the favelas, so as part of the program to support the next generation of players. So I will be super happy for you to sign it. It was really a pleasure for me to have you in the podcast.
Likewise.
Lama
Same,
and
thank you
Nathalie,
so
I hope
much.
you enjoyed
Yeah,
it. Thank
we
you for
loved
the
it. Thank
invitation.
Thank you so much. Really.
I hope you enjoyed the beautiful location
And when
here.
you need training, I'll come train you, okay?
Yeah, oh, la, la, she teased me, huh? I
I
take you one-on-one in basketball if you want.
Deal. Let's
Yeah,
do this.
no problem. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you want to watch another episode, don't forget to click on the square right here, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment who should be the next guest. And I see you next time. Brah.